One second, I have got a screen share access. So anyone on new today who has joined newly today? Anyone on new? Okay. Okay. I think everyone are. Uh, okay. Okay. The session is uploaded to the YouTube Haima. So you can go it from there actually. So yeah. Okay, so that's the thing actually. So yesterday, what we have seen is all the things about the course and the project that we are going to do as part of this course actually. So these are the things that we have seen yesterday. And today we are going to see creation of AWS account because we need an AWS account to work with Jenkins because we are going to install Jenkins on the virtual machine. For that virtual machine, we need an AWS account. So let me share my screen in order to show you how to create an AWS account. Let me share it. I hope my screen is visible, right? So for this, you just go to your browser. Okay, so once you have visited your browser, just go here to this tab and search for aws.amazon.com. Okay, so if you are visiting this site for the first time, then you are going to get here sign up option here. As I have visited many times, so I am getting signed into the console directly. So I want to here create a new account. Click on this. I am going to click on this. You are going to directly getting here sign up. But yeah, just click on that and yeah. Now let me click on create new AWS account. Okay, so you need to give the email address that you have actually. You need to give the email address. You need to give the account name, whatever it is, you can give that account name. After this, there are 4 to 5 steps. Okay, so just complete the details and your account is ready for you because I don't have any unique email address that I am unable to show because yeah, that's the thing. Reason I am which I'm unable to show because yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so it's as simple as creating your Facebook accounts actually. Just fill the details which they have asked and your account will be ready. The 2 steps that is important as part of this creation of AWS account is first one is they are going to ask your identity, like whether it is a Aadhaar card or PAN card, whatever it is, they are going to give some options there in the one of the step actually. So you just to in order to verify their your identity. Okay, so as AWS is a trusted entity, you can trust them and provide your Aadhaar card number, whatever it is. Okay, and the second important step that they are going to ask you is the account number, bank account, not account number, credit card or debit card number and the details. And they are going to debit 2 rupees from your account and then they are going to recredit back once the account is created after 2 days actually. Account will be created immediately. Once the account is created after 2 days, they are going to debit credit back to your bank account back actually. Okay, so that's how the process they are going to follow. That's how we create an AWS account actually. So yeah, these are the 2 steps. Just follow the steps and it is as simple as creating your Facebook account actually. Just simple, it's very simple, you can create that. Okay, so that's how you create an AWS account. Once you have created an AWS account, AWS people says that after 2 days or after 1 to 2 days of your creation of AWS account, your account will be ready. Okay, that's a maximum time they are going to take actually, but you can use that account immediately once you have created an AWS account. So once you have created an AWS account, click on this signing to an existing AWS account. I'm going to do this and you need to, okay, you have two options here: IAM user login, okay, or IAM user sign in, or sign in using root email address. If you don't see, if you directly see sign in root email address, something like this, if you directly see something like this, sign in root user, you should not click IAM user, you should only log in through the root user. Just put your email ID that you have uh, 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 used when creating an AWS account actually. Uh, okay, so let me use this, and it is going to ask you for a captcha and then the password. Okay, this is your AWS console screen. This is your AWS console screen. Okay, so here I am seeing recently visited. I have visited to many of the services. That is why I am sure the database is displaying here recently visited services. But in your case, you will not be seeing any. You will be seeing this list as empty. Okay, so now we have created an AWS account and we have logged into the AWS account. Now, if you can click on this, you have see this, you can see this. This is the thing. In which region, these are the different regions that AWS has their data centers. Okay, so in which region you want to create your infrastructure, or in which region you want to create your virtual machine to install Jenkins. So you need to select your region. I am selecting Mumbai. Okay, so I don't want to create any other region. I'm selecting Mumbai. And if you want to create a virtual machine, if you want to create a virtual machine, you need to go here to the search box. Just search for EC2. EC2 is one of the service that is provided to us by AWS for creating virtual machines. Okay, just open in a new tab, something like this. And once you have went to this EC2 console, this is the EC2 console. Uh, Okay, this is the EC2 console that we have here. Okay, so once you have come to this console, what you need to do, you need to go to something called key pairs under network and security. In the left side menu, you will be noticing something called key pairs. Okay, just click on this key pairs. Key pairs is will be providing a security for our virtual machines actually. So these are all AWS stuff, but yeah, that's okay. But yeah, that's fine. Okay, create a key pair and just give the key pair a name and just click on create a key pair. Once you clicked on this create a key pair, it is going to download a file to your local machine. Just save that file in a safe place on your local machine so that you can use that file later. Okay, that's a PEM file, we call it as, that contains private key. Okay, so yeah, that's how that deals with actually. So that contains the private key, and yeah, that's the thing. I have already have a key. I don't want to create a new key pair. I have a key named JDKA, something like this. Okay, so I want to use that same key. Okay, once you have created a key pair, once you have created a key pair, what you need to do in the left side menu, you need to go to instances. You need to go to instances. As of now, one instance, instance means virtual machine. Instance, virtual machine, virtual server, or the EC2 machine all refers to the same meaning. Okay, so here my instance, one of my instance is running, but in your case, the instance won't be running because you have created this account for the first time. Okay, so in order to create a virtual machine, or in order to create an instance, you need to click on this launch instances. Okay, you need to click on this launch instances. You need to give the instance a name. Let me give Jenkins as a name for this instance. Okay, so Jenkins as a name for this instance. I am going to select which type of operating system that you want inside the virtual machine. You can select that here. Okay, I want Ubuntu operating system whenever the instance is launched. Okay, that's what I'm selecting, this Ubuntu. Okay, so once this you have selected this Ubuntu, you just scroll down and you can see that instance type. Instance type. What this define? Instance type means how much amount of CPU, how much amount of memory that you want to give to your instance, that you want to give to your virtual machine. So
Can
I
you
am select.
can you use Red Hat or CentOS?
Yeah, whatever you want, you can use actually. Red Hat, CentOS, Amazon, Linux. Okay, Windows also you can use, whatever. We have multiple operating system that is provided to us. Okay, so but I am not going to use here because yeah, I'm going to use Ubuntu. Okay, that's fine. Okay, instance type. Okay, so instance type is the amount of CPU and amount of memory that is given to the instance. I am going to use T2.medium type of instance that gives 2 CPUs and 4 GB memory to this particular instance or the virtual machine. And it is going to cost me around uh, 0.046496 US dollars per hour. Okay, that's what the T2 media type of instance. I require this much amount of CPU and this much amount of memory. Okay, so in order to practice or in order to show you. Okay, so that's what I am selecting. Okay, T2 dot medium type of instance, which provides 2 CPUs and 4 GB memory. You can see that very clearly in this place. Now, in the previous step, if you remember, we have created a key pair, right? So you that key pair will be listed here. You can see that here. When so click on this key pair, select box, a drop down list box, you will be seeing the key pair that you have created in the previous place. You can select that key pair, or you can also proceed without a key pair. Then you will not be having security for your virtual machine. Now let me select this key pair, which is already there with me. Okay, now uh, in the network settings tab, you have this network settings tab. Select an existing click on this select an existing security group. Select this default. Once you clicked on this, okay, you are also going to get the same thing, default security group. You just select it, that's it. Okay, just verify that it is selected. Okay, now the storage that you want to assign to your virtual machine, I want to give 15 GB of storage to my virtual machine. Okay, a 15 GB of drive. Okay, to this virtual machine. Okay, so that's why I am giving 15 GB. Okay, so we have types of storages in AWS: GP2, GP3, IO1, IO2. Okay, magnetic and all these things. There are types, but yeah, I am using GP3, which is this one. Okay, now in the right side column, you need to mention number of instances to launch. I'm launching only one instance. I don't want more than one instance as of now. Okay, so now I am going to launch this instance. Now please verify. Only you need to select, you need to give a name. You need to select your operating system which you want. Based on the selection of operating system, the commands to install Jenkins is going to be different. Okay, please remember that. And you are going to select the instance type. What this instance type defines is the amount of CPU, the amount of memory that need to be given to the instance. That defines the instance type. I am selecting T2.medium, which gives 2 CPUs and 4 GB memory to my virtual machine or the instance. I am selecting the key pair, and the network settings, I am clicking on selecting existing security group. And in this security group select box, you are going to select the default security group, and I'm giving 15 GB of storage for my virtual machine or the instance. And number of instances you want to launch, give that number here. I want to launch only one instance, one virtual machine. Right now, let me click on launch an instance. Okay, so yeah, your instance is successfully launched now. You can go to instances back here, click on this, and just click on refresh, you can see that your instance is launched and it is in the pending state. Just wait for it to come to the online state. Okay, that means running state. Yeah, you can see that it is have coming into the running state, and you need to see something like 2 by 2 health checks passed in the status check. Okay, so let me
Sir, why we are adding the security group?
see. Security group is kind of a firewall to your instance actually. Suppose let me go here. Uh let me open new. Suppose this is the instance that you have, which you have created just now. Security group sits before something like this. Okay, something like this, which we have added to this instance. So what this does, security group, it will not allow all traffic, which the people who are sending the traffic, it will not allow actually. Whoever the allowed, whatever the allowed traffic, we are going to define which traffic should be allowed, which traffic should not be allowed in this security group. Suppose I want to allow only HTTP traffic. I don't want to allow any TCP traffic. So you can define in this security group so that your traffic, it is like a firewall. It's like a gateway which defines which things to allowed, which things not should not be allowed in order to enter into this instance actually. That's a use of the security group. That's why we are using security group. Did you get the point?
So like we can say like it is kind of the inbound rule.
It's kind of,
Inbound rule.
yeah, inbound is there and outbound is also there for the security group. So you can see that inbound rules will be there and the outbound rules will be there. Inbound rules will be allowing the external traffic to within to the machine, and the outbound rules which will be allowing internal traffic within the machine to the internet actually. So that's what.
Oh,
Okay, so let's refresh. Yeah, you can see that this is the 2 by 2 health checks passed. Okay, this is how you need to create a virtual machine. This is how you need to create a virtual machine. Once you have created this virtual machine, what you need to do, click on this connect, and you need to click on connect actually. Okay, yeah, you have connected to your virtual machine. Okay, suppose in this diagram, I have went inside this virtual machine, something like this. Okay, in order to install, we need to install Jenkins in this virtual machine. Okay, so in order to install Jenkins in this virtual machine, Java is going to be the prerequisite. You need to have Java as part of this virtual machine. Okay, so I am going to install Java first, and then I am going to install Jenkins to this virtual machine. Okay, let me go to root user sudo su hyphen. Okay, so let me click on root user. Okay, let me clear the screen. Okay, I went to the root user. You can see that hashtag. That means I have switched to the root user. Now, to install Java, we need to follow some commands. I'm going to upload this to the document or of your uh, place actually in the Telegram. So for that, I am going to this Jenkins, and I think this is the one. Yeah, now I am going to perform sudo apt update, which will update the packages as part of this uh, Ubuntu machine. And then I am going to install Java, Java 17. Okay, so just click on this and install it and verify yes. Click on Y and click on enter. And once the Java is installed, just verify that Java is installed or not. Okay, so in order to verify that the Java is installed or not, you need to use Java version, something like this. Okay, you can see that Java version with 17 has been installed. Once the Java is installed into your Jenkins machine, you need to install Jenkins. So for that, we have some commands fetched out from the Jenkins documentation itself. Okay, just have taken from the Jenkins documentation. Now let me copy this commands.
So this command is no need to remember, right?
You don't need to remember, it's a one-time activity. Okay, so before installing Jenkins, that's the thing. Installing Jenkins. Why? Okay, your Jenkins is installed in this machine. Let's check if the Jenkins has been running or not. Systemctl status Jenkins. You can see that my Jenkins machine, Jenkins in this server is properly running. You can see that it is active and running state. Once you have made this Jenkins running, what you need to do? Go to the machine, click on this machine. This is the machine that you have. Click on this public IPv4 address. Okay, you will be having something like this. You'll be getting public IPv4 address. Click on this and put it in a new tab. Put it in a new tab. You need to put colon EIT. This is how you need to access Jenkins, which is installed in that particular virtual machine. Just click on enter. Okay, so you are going to access this Jenkins console. This is the first screen of the Jenkins. Okay, this is going to be the first screen of the Jenkins. Okay, it is asking you the administrator password. Where you can get this password from? You can get this password from, copy this uh, path from this particular place and go to your Jenkins machine where you have installed Jenkins, and you need to cat. Okay, you need to use cat command. These are all one-time setup when you are going to install Jenkins. Actually, just initial admin password, you cat it. This is going to be the password that is there. Actually, just copy this password. Okay, and go to your Jenkins machine and put the password as part of this. Let me click on continue. Never. Okay, it is going to give two different options for you: install suggested plugins or select plugins to install. Actually, so I want to install suggested plugins, which is being automatically given installed by the Jenkins itself. Okay, so if any extra plugins are needed, I'm going to install later. Okay, so all these plugins are going to be installed. Let's wait for it to complete.
So this plugin means this is the resource.
No, plugin means some extra functionality that you are going to give to your Jenkins. Okay, so Jenkins machine did not contain Gradle previously. Now, if you add this plugin to the Jenkins, so this also contains Gradle. Okay, so something like that. Git is previously Jenkins, bare metal Jenkins will not contain Git. You are installing a plugin called Git. Okay, so something like that. Some additional things you are installing on Jenkins. Something.
And this LDAP for the mail to send the email and all.
Yeah. This mail extension and all these things. Okay, so when you deal with this, when you create this virtual machine, make sure you go to the security group for that particular virtual machine. You click on this security group, open a new tab, something like this, and make sure that you are allowing the all traffic just for the no, as this is for the practice, then I am allowing all traffic. What you need to do, click on this inbound rules, click on edit inbound rules. You need to click on add rule. You need to give all traffic in this option. You need to give all traffic. You need to give 0.0.0.0/0 and anywhere IPv or something like this. So you need to click on save rule. Okay, so as I have already having that role, I don't need of adding one more time. It is going to give me some error. You can see that this is how you need to add. Okay, so let me click on cancel. Okay, make sure that you have added so that you'll be able to access Jenkins. You can see that my Jenkins console. This is the first screen. Okay, of the for entering username and password. Now I am going to enter the username. Let me give my name, and the password is going to be this one, this one, this one, something like this. I'm going to give something like this. Okay, let me click on save and continue. Now let me click on save and finish and start using Jenkins. Okay, this is your Jenkins console. This is your Jenkins initial console. Actually, you can see that here. Okay, now let me go to manage Jenkins. Let me go to manage Jenkins that you have here something called appearance. Okay, I am going to use dark. Now I don't want to use the white theme. Okay, so let me click on save. Okay, so this is how your Jenkins console looks like. Okay, so this is the first screen of your Jenkins console. Okay, so here you have multiple options here. What is this new item? If you click on this new item, you can create jobs. You can create multiple pipelines or multiple jobs using this new item. Okay, now build history means any history is there. Okay, previously any job is executed or not. So as this is a new Jenkins, we have not job executed any job. Okay, so any build something like that, so that's why it is saying empty. Okay, so manage Jenkins is all for administration kind of activities. We use manage Jenkins option. Okay, you can click on this my views. Okay, that is your view, how you can create and all these things. As you can see that if you click on my view, I'm switching to only my Shiva and all this that thing actually. Okay, so you have something called build queue and build executors. So we are going to discuss this in the future sections. What is this build queue and what is this build executor? Okay, so this is how you need to create, this is how you need to install Jenkins, and this is how you need to access Jenkins console. Once you have created Jenkins and once you have accessed the Jenkins console, how you can create the jobs, you can click on new item, click on new item. Let me give the job name initial job, something like this. Okay, I am using the freestyle project. You can create the jobs with multiple types: freestyle job, pipeline job, okay, multi-branch pipeline job, something like this. Okay, so I am going to use the freestyle job initially. Okay, so let me click on OK. Okay, once you have clicked on that OK, now we have multiple options and we are going to discuss each option in the future sessions, but not now. Okay, now just scroll down to the bottom. What you are going to see, you are going to see something called build steps. As part of this build step, just add execute shell. That means I want to execute some shell command, some Linux command. So that's as part of this job. So that's what this execute shell is. Click on this execute shell and use echo initial initial job, something like this. I want to execute this one. Okay, click on apply and click on save. Okay, now go to your dashboard. You can see that this is the initial job that we have created. Okay, no, we have not yet built it. Okay, now let me click on this initial job and you can click on build now option. Click on this build now option so that your job is going to be built. Okay, you can see that your job is going to be built and it's success. If you go to the dashboard again, you can see that it is built and no failures happen. That is why not available. And last duration is this much amount of time it is taken to build the job actually. So it has been success. You can see that, you see that here. Okay, this is how you need to build your jobs as part of this Jenkins pipelines. Okay, so now any questions anyone has, please, until here?
Sir, in organization, every people will have the different login to this Jenkins. Yeah, same login only they will be using.
No, the people will be having different logins. How to create that, I am going to show you.
Okay.
That's a user management of Jenkins that we do.
Hi Shiva, your voice is
Yeah.
now a bit low. And there's one question that what is a job in Jenkins? Or what does this mean, job?
Job is nothing but, yesterday I've told you, right? All this process that is automated together, whatever the manual process that you do is, if that is automated, that is called as a job. Job is like a process that we do manually in your local machine. With Jenkins, we are going to automate that one. That we call it as a job. Okay.
Okay.
A set of steps that is going to be executed in the job, something like this. In this job, multiple steps are going to be executed, which we do automation. So this entire steps combinedly known as a job, something like that. Okay, that's just a terminology. Okay, so you can call it a job, or you can call it a pipeline, or whatever it is. Okay. Yeah, that's the same. Okay, that's how we deal with Jenkins. Okay, so this is how we have created one Jenkins machine. Okay, what we did here, we have created, where is my diagram? Okay, so we have created what we did. Let me remove this part, and we have created one Jenkins machine, something like this. And we have installed Jenkins and Java as part of Java and Jenkins as part of this machine, and we are able to access the Jenkins. But in real time, people uses Jenkins master slave architecture, something like this. They are going to have the Jenkins. This is going to be the master or controller. We call it as, this is going to controller. Okay. And actual our jobs are going to be built as part of the slaves. Okay. As part of, now, as there are no slaves, my job is built on the master itself. Okay. On the controller itself. Okay. So now if you see this, click on this and click on console output. Okay, you see that my Jenkins job is built on the controller itself workspace. You can see that here in this place actually. Okay, so because I don't have any other slaves attached to this Jenkins controller, so we are going to have this attached soon today. Okay, now let me, something like this, you are going to have multiple slaves actually. So your jobs that you are running actually will be executed on slaves. Your jobs that you are running actually will be executed on slaves. Who will be executing on slaves? Jenkins controller will be uh, scheduling your jobs on the slave machines, which is there actually, okay, in the real time. Okay, here you can also use one Jenkins machine, or you can use multiple Jenkins machines, something like this. Multiple slaves, these are something called slaves that we call it as. These are slaves. Okay, this is slave 1, and this is going to be the slave 2.
Sir, controller is there within the Jenkins only.
No, controller will be there within the Jenkins. Yeah, that's this. See, it's just a terminology that we call for this here. It's not a separate component. It's a terminology where we have installed Jenkins. That is something called controller. This is a controller machine. Okay, let me remove out of this. Let me put something like this. This is something called controller. Okay, so which will control our jobs. Okay, which will schedule our jobs on the slave machines. Okay, something like this. Okay, so this is how this is how the architecture diagram looks like, a master slave architecture. So controller slave or master slave, we call it as also a master slave architecture actually. So something like this, we also call other name master slave architecture. How to create this architecture? We have this controller running, right? Just now, a single node, we have this controller running. You can see that this is the controller that we have, but how to attach these slaves to this controller now? How to create this master slave architecture? For this, what you need to do, you need to go to your console, EC2 console. We need to have virtual machines. These are also separate virtual machines. This is a virtual machine, this is a virtual machine, and this is a virtual machine. So we need to have virtual machines, right? So I need to launch one more virtual machine. So Jenkins slave, 1 second, Jenkins slave 1. Okay, so I am taking the Ubuntu because I want to use single operating system across the controllers and the slaves. Now let me take t2.medium. Okay, so I'm selecting the key pair, this one, and I'm selecting the existing security group. This is the one, and let me give the 10 GB of storage for this machine, and I want to launch one instance. Click on this launch instance, click on this launch instance, your instance is launched, and click on this refresh. Your instance Jenkins slave 1 is in pending state. Once it is come to running state, let's wait for it to be coming into running state. Okay, click on this and click on connect. And what you do, just click on connect. Okay, now what you need to do, sudo su hyphen. Okay, so just update the packages in this slave machine and install Java. Just copy this.
In every machine, we have to install this command.
Yes, Java is required because yeah,
Jenkins also
Jenkins
we
is
have
built
to.
on Java. Yeah,
Okay.
just put it this one, install Java, and let me click on Y. Let it install. What you need to do, go to your Jenkins and click on manage Jenkins. Click on uh, nodes. We need to go to the nodes later point of time. Click on system. Okay, we have something called all these things we are going to discuss, global build discarded and all. Think it should not be here. Click on this manage Jenkins, go back and go to the security. I'm going to go to security only. So you will be seeing something called agents. Okay, so we are see there are multiple names the people calls. Okay, they call slaves, they call Jenkins agents, this one they call master, and they call Jenkins controller. Okay, slaves or agents, both are same. Controller or master, both are same actually. So okay, that's what you need to understand. Okay, so here I am selecting this random agents. Under the agents, just click on random and click on apply and click on save. Okay, your data is saved and configuration is saved. I mean, okay, so what you need to do, we have installed Java here, right? So yeah, we have installed Java. Just verify Java is installed, Java hyphen version in the slave or the agent machine. Okay, so here Java is installed in this particular machine. So click on this. See all these things which I'm saying here. This is a one-time setup. Okay, who is the administrator? That's the person who is going to do all this setup actually. Okay, so now you need to go to manage Jenkins. You need to click on nodes. You need to click on nodes. You can see that this is another term. Okay, so agent, nodes, and all these things are same. Okay, click on add new node. For this agent node name, I want to give agent 1. Okay, something like this, agent 1. It is going to be the permanent agent. Let me click on create. Okay, so I want to use, you can see that this is the agent 1. If you want to give any description, this is agent 1, something like this. Okay, number of executors, we are going to talk about the executors in the future sections, but yeah, let me give 1. And you can also read it from clicking on this question mark and all these things. Okay, but yeah, that's fine actually. Okay, now remote root directory where the data generated by this Jenkins has to be stored. That's what this remote root directory defines. So where slash you can give whatever path you want. I have multiple paths here. Okay, ls slash, you see these are the different paths. Okay, so but I am going to give where Jenkins, or let me give different, let me go here, ls pwd slash root, right? So I'm going to give slash root yamkdir Jenkins. Let me create one more folder that is called Jenkins, ls cd Jenkins, something like this. ls, we have pwd here. I'm going to give this particular path. Okay, now let me go here and put this one here. If you want to label this node, just label it as developer, develop, something like that. Okay, so that's what the label I am giving. Okay, so the usage defines, okay, so you can see that here, use this node as much as possible. Only build jobs with label expression matches this node. Okay, so you can define some condition in the pipeline. Okay, so if that condition is going to be matched, the condition is using labels. If that condition is going to be matched, you can build on this particular node. If the condition is not matching, okay, the job will not be built on this particular node actually. So that's what the usage defines. Use this node as much as possible, or only build jobs with the label expression matching this node that matches the condition. Okay, so that's what it is saying actually. I'm selecting this, use this node as much as it's possible. Launch method. So launch, how to connect this? See, this controller, this slave has to be connected to this controller, right? So that's a master slave architecture. How you can connect this master to the slave architecture? Okay, you have multiple options. Launch agent by connecting to the controller, launch agent via SSH. I am going to use launch agent by connecting it to the controller. Just I'm selecting this one. Okay, so now that's what I'm selecting. Okay, you can have multiple options. We have two options there. I'm selecting the first one. Now availability, when this node should be available. Okay, so keep this agent online as much as possible. This is the first option. Bring this agent online according to the schedule. Suppose I want to keep this agent online from today 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and after 8 p.m. to again 8 a.m. it should go to offline. So according to that schedule, if you want to make this agent as online, you can select this option. It is going to ask you the cron expression, something like this, and you can use that actually. Okay, so I don't want to use this. Bring this agent online when in demand and take offline when ideal. Okay, so what it defines is whenever uh, uh, any job requires some agent to be to build that job actually. So at the time, make this online. If no job is running, make this offline, something like that. So that's how we have it here. Now I want to keep this agent online as much as possible. I'm selecting this and I'm clicking on save. Now this is the agent one that we have added. If you see that one here, we have cross symbol. That means it is not yet my slave is not yet, my agent is not yet connected to controller. Just we have added in the controller machine. That's the thing. So in order to connect your agent to this controller, you need to click on this. You need to click on this. Okay, 1 second.
Sir, we are going to see each option practically in the classes, right?
No, I did not get you. Can you repeat that?
What option it is showing, right? To select.
Yeah.
So that of the all the option we are going to see like practically in the class, right?
Yes, different options that is there as part of this jobs we are going to see practically.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the thing. Actually, let me copy this. These are the two commands that you need to copy. Now, what you need to do, just copy this curl command, first command, and go to your slave machine where you have installed, where you have this is a slave, and just install this agent.jar. Your jar is being downloaded. Sorry, your jar file is being downloaded. And what you need to do, you need to copy this particular command, Java command. You need to, for execution of this jar file, it contains a secret. You can see that here. In order to connect your slave agent to the controller machine, so it contains something called secret. It only gives to us, of managing all these things. Let me copy this and go to your slave and execute this. So you can see that your agent is connected to the Jenkins controller. Okay, so this is how, just let me go back to the manage Jenkins, and let me go back to the nodes. Let me go back to the nodes. If you see, the agent 1 is connected. You can say in sync. Previously, it is something like n by a, not available, something like that. And free disk space is 6.24 GB. And yeah, nothing is there. And this is a total free temporary space. And
The
96
free
memory
swap
space
space, why it is showing the red mark?
It's swap space which is internally used by the Jenkins actually. So it is as there are no builds that are running as part of this Jenkins machine. If you see, there are no builds running. Okay, they are empty, right? So that is why it is saying 0 bytes. They are not using any swap space. Something like Jenkins is going to use something called swap space whenever the jobs are going to be built on this Jenkins machine. So as the jobs are not going to be are not running as of now, then that is why it is saying here 0 bytes.
Okay. So
Okay.
in the new machine also you installed the Jenkins, right? After
No. I have not installed Jenkins in the new machine. I
Okay.
just installed Java. If you see here, I just executed Java command to install Java. That's it. I no need of installing Jenkins in the new machine.
Sir, can you increase this font right on the EC2 machine? So
Yeah, sure. No, we don't use any EC2 machine. Everything is completed. What we do. Okay, so yeah, we have connected this master slave architecture to the Jenkins machine. If you want to try, you just create a master, and you can also create one more machine and connect to this controller, or the this machine to the controller, something like this. Okay,
sir, in the
so
organization, like we only have to install, yeah, like some admin people will install and we have to manage.
no, if you are a developer, you just use that Jenkins machine. Actually, if you are a DevOps engineer, or if you are such kind of admin role, you need to create all these things. You need to do based on your role.
Shiva,
Yeah.
you gave one path in the while creating agent like root
Yeah.
and then. So if I
Yeah.
give you like for that I need to give permission or like how it is like with like because we are using root directory. So like for that any permission is required or it
Not required, not required. Any permission is not required for that.
okay okay.
Because sir, you are using the command using root user, right?
Yeah. No, it is not required. So you can see that here. It is already added to my Jenkins
Okay.
in sync. It is in sync. If the permission is required, I should get, it is not in sync, something like that. I should get n by a. That means not available, something like that. As it is not required, I am properly able to see this.
Sir, on the when we are creating the EC2 machine, like so by default it was showing the disk size 8 GB, right? So you increase to 10 GB. So
Yeah,
it means like 10 GB is required minimum.
based on your number of jobs that you have here. Okay, it's not like minimum. You can also create Jenkins job with 8 GB, Jenkins machine with 8 GB. 8 GB is the minimum. Okay, you cannot move less than 8 GB. Okay, so I randomly I have taken 10 GB based on the number of Jenkins job that you are running and all these things actually. So the amount
Oh,
of time that you use the Jenkins job, the amount of data that is going to be stored on the Jenkins. In our organization we use 100 GB volume. Okay, so
oh.
I've used just simple 10 GB or
And when you are creating the slave node, right? So there was one option came like you want to make it permanent node. So what does it mean?
that's just an option. One second, let me go here. If you click on this add node, yeah, you can see that here uh you have something called node name. Okay, you can see that agent one. Okay, so suppose let me take this agent 2. Okay, so if you want to make this as permanent node, what is this means? You can see that here adds a plain permanent agent to the Jenkins. This is called permanent because Jenkins does not provide higher level of integration with this agents such as dynamic provisioning. Okay, so select this type if no other agent types apply. For example, such as when you are adding a physical computer virtual machine managed outside of Jenkins, etc. Actually, so Jenkins is not going to provision any nodes. You need to provision the nodes prior to this adding to this prior adding to this a new node, and you need to click on this permanent agent. So this is a default option that you need to select actually. So yeah, can also copy the configuration from the existing agent. Okay, so agent one, something like this. Okay, one second, agent, yeah, you can see that here agent one, and you can click on create an agent and click on save. Okay, so your
Okay, so this is
things,
general option. I can select
yeah,
all.
general option, yeah, that's the thing. Let me delete this agent too. Okay, so that's how we have created a master slave architecture as part of this Jenkins, and we have seen how to create a virtual. See, today we have seen how to create an AWS account. So I'm unable to show full steps because I have not having any unique email address. And the second thing that we have seen is how to create a virtual machine with some size and all the options that we have. And the third thing which we have seen is how to log in and how to install, what are the prerequisites that we install to the Jenkins in order to install Jenkins actually. So Java is a prerequisite. Okay, so we have installed Jenkins and we have accessed the Jenkins from the console, and we have seen some of the options and how to create a job and all these things. Okay, so yeah, that's how is the things actually, and we have seen how to add the agent node to the Jenkins controller. And yeah, the setup we have done today. Okay, so that's the thing. Someone asking something?
Yeah, this is what that I asked you yesterday to execute the set of test cases.
Yeah, that's what I have told you, right? So you are going to make that machine as an agent. Okay, one of the where you are going to execute the test cases, this first set of test cases and second set of test cases. That's what I have told you here. You need to make that as an agent, then you can execute that test cases as part of that particular agent actually in the stage number 2.
And for that, we no need to install the Jenkins on the agent machine. Only we
No,
need
no,
to
no, no,
install
no,
the
no.
Java.
You need to install only Java. Okay, so you're not of installing any Jenkins. We have Jenkins controller, right? So Jenkins is only one place you need to install on the Jenkins controller. That's it.
Okay.
So test cases would be there in the jar only, right? And how we will be dividing?
I'm not sure how you people maintain the test cases. Okay, actually, unit test cases will be there as part of the code, application code. But yeah, he told in the last class he told something called regression test cases, something like that. Okay, I'm not sure how they maintain.
So in the Java, like we are using the JUnit Mockito, right? So it was there within the code only.
Within the
So
jar, yes,
uh,
that's there within the jar, because actually that's there within the application. From the application, we are going to create a jar.
so from that jar, like how they will be dividing, like test cases, test would one and so.
Before creating the jar file only, they are going to execute the test cases.
So like jar will be created when your all the test cases will get success.
Yes.
After jar, like you mentioned, like we have to we can divide that, right? So I think I'm also not sure like how that.
No. After jar, see, once the jar is created, you are going to, like, once the test cases are saved, see, let me show you here in this diagram. Where is that diagram? In this diagram, okay, Maven build, this is where the jar file is going to build. Okay, after this jar file is built, we are not going to execute the test cases which is there as part of the jar. Even the jar file is built, our code will be there as part of this pipeline which has been fetched from this GitHub repository. Okay, so the test cases will be executed here, which is there as part of the code, not in the jar. Have you got that?
Okay. So I think in Maven build we are skipping that test cases.
Yeah, we are only building the jar file here. We are only executing the builds, but not tests.
But below you mentioned, right, so first state test.
No. These are, after that he has set some use case. So I have put this an example, so you can execute this set of tests, something like that. So based on his use case actually. So it's not belongs to our project, all the things.
So where will you use Agro CD here?
Argo CD is not used here. Okay, Argo CD is going to be installed in the K8s cluster. Okay, so this part, entire part will be Jenkins, and the Argo CD is not been used here actually. So
No, where will you use? That's what. So why? So the Agro CD is also kind of Jenkins, right? The same tool, right?
it's a continuous deployment. It's not kind of Jenkins. It's not going to integrate your. It's not CI. It is only perform CD. Okay. So but Jenkins is both CI and CD. Okay. So Argo CD will be there. It will not be part of Jenkins. Argo CD will be part of Kubernetes cluster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are going
Please
to
do.
you are going to serve them, right?
Yes. As part of the project, we have Argo CD and Kubernetes cluster and all these things, which is there in this diagram.
So are you providing materials also? Anything actually?
Yeah. I'm sending the materials. See, tomorrow, as today is the last demo class, once I get the confirmation of the people who has registered, I'm going to add you to the Telegram group. In the Telegram group, I am going to share you the material.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, shall we go bit slow? Like when you are executing the command, right? So means actually I think I'm completely new into this, right? So shall we go bit slow during that time and
Sure. Definitely. No problem. Okay. Yeah. Please do remember, today is the last demo session, and tomorrow the link is going to be changed. And please go ahead and register for the course if you like it, and then we are going to meet it in the next class. If you have any questions, you can ask any questions, please.
So tomorrow we have class?
Tomorrow is Wednesday. Okay, and Christmas, right? Okay, it's not the decision taken by me actually. I am under the Durga. I'm also one of the DurgaSoft employee. I need to ask them. Okay. And definitely the next class link is going to be changed. Do you people want class? I want to ask you people so that I can refer them. Do you people want class? Yes.
Yes, sir, it will be good.
Okay. Then we'll have it. No problem. Okay, that's fine.
Shiva, there is one question that once we have created this AWS, so is there any fee deduction or how much usage we can utilize with the free account? or
Yeah. We
cost
have
to do this?
we have that actually. So AWS free limits. Okay, so we have something like this. Okay, this is a free tier. It's not, once again, it's FAQs actually. Second. Okay, if you see here, if you take EC2 machine, we are using the mainly EC2 machines for our Jenkins. Okay, of course we are using EKS clusters, but yeah, most of the time we use EC2 machines. Okay, if you take EC2 machines, 750 hours per month is going to be free, but you should use the instance type of T3.micro. Okay, if you see, oh sorry, this is the Linux machine we are going to use, right? This is a Windows machine which I'm selecting. So you need to use the machine of type T2.micro. If you launch this machine, right? So I hope you understand. If you launch this machine, right? So you'll be seeing the T2.micro, right? So if you use this T2.micro, it will be free for you for 750 hours per month. You might be asking me, there will not be any 750 hours per month, right? So if you launch two instances combinedly, they are going to, if you suppose you have launched T2.micro machines, two machines, okay, for 24 hours, they are going to calculate 48 hours for one day actually. So like as you are running two machines, right? So that's how they calculate. So that's why they put 750 hours for free for this EC2. If you use T2.micro or T3.micro, if you see you're also having T3.micro, okay. Yeah, that's how we have multiple services here, which will be free for us. Something like, if you go to this documentation, you'll be getting which services is what kind of limits are there.
Mhm. And do we need to stop those instances? Uh, Anything we need to take care of if we are creating this account and creating instances?
Yeah, you can stop it. You can stop it, no problem. Okay, what you need to do is just go here, because so if you stop the instances, the charges won't happen, but the underlying storage cost will be, if you have the storage more than 30 GB, for that cost will be taken by the AWS actually. Okay, you can click on this Jenkins and click on this instance state, and you can click on this stop instance. Okay, then you will be popping out an option to stop the instance, and you just click on this stop, then your instance is going to be stopped.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Question like how I heard that GitHub Actions also do something related to Jenkins, right? So
What is
how
it?
they GitHub Actions, I heard GitHub Actions also some similar functionality which Jenkins does. So
Yeah,
what is the
yes,
difference?
yes, actually multiple tools are there. GitHub Actions is a GitHub Actions is a managed one by the GitHub, but the Jenkins is a self-managed one, because you need to install Jenkins, you need to configure Jenkins, you need to do all the things. You can see that just that's what we did it here. But GitHub Actions, it just gives you the platform, then you can directly create a pipeline there. You no need of installing anything, you no need of doing anything there. Here, in order to deal with Jenkins, we need to create a virtual machine. We need to go inside the virtual machine. We need to install Java. We need to install Jenkins, and then we can use Jenkins. Actually, we need to allow the rules in the security group. All these things, if you do, then only you can use Jenkins. But in case of GitLab or GitHub Actions or Azure DevOps, so all these things, these are managed pipelines. So managed uh, CI/CD tools, which is managed by those people. Then just we are going to use that. That's the thing.
So that master slave concept is there in GitHub Action as well. Sure.
Yeah, but there might be different terminology there.
Okay.
Yeah, in GitLab we call it as GitLab runners. We can have multiple GitLab runners, something like that we call it as. I never use GitHub Actions, but I'm using GitLab.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's a class, and we will meet tomorrow with the new link. Please go ahead and register for the course. Thanks for joining. I'll meet you in the next class. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.